What's up, everybody? Welcome back for the second part of my card party coverage. Video 1 was primarily dealing with vendors, buying cards, all the interactions. Go check it out. I'll link it in the description down below if you haven't seen it already. That is where I showed off some of the cards I acquired. This video is going to go into much more detail on everything I've brought home, all the cards, all of the items, all the memorabilia, all of my experiences there. There is a lot. I have stuff laid out all around me. I am wearing some of it, and I kind of just wanted to chat about it and show off everything that I did and everything that I took home. Now, if you did not make it to Card Party, there are a lot of videos out there. Shout out to Deep Pocket Monster and his team, Pat Flynn. You are awesome for putting on this event, and there are so many creators doing coverage on this that you should really check them all out because everyone has a different take. Everyone saw something different. There were multiple things going on at the same time always, so you couldn't really take it all in for the entire weekend. Now, primarily being a Pokemon collector, I spent a majority of my weekend in the main rooms, looking at cards, checking out the rarest pieces that I've never even seen before in person. I mean, there was first edition base set booster boxes. I saw a case of legendary collection booster boxes. Just some insane items everywhere you looked. Heritage was there. They brought in so many cool collectors and pieces under one roof that you could spend the entire day just chatting with people about cards and have a great time. The two favorite events that I actually sat in on and experienced was the first Pat Flynn did a YouTube seminar on how to. Now, he made a lot of good pointers. I think it was about 45 minutes or an hour long or so, at least as long as I spent in there. And I already took away some good pointers, already implemented a couple things. And I thought that was actually a really good experience just because the entire place there was built half creators, half collectors, vendors. A lot of people took away a lot of good points from that seminar. So that was one of the first things that I sat in and actually enjoyed. The second big event that I liked was the R-rated pack battles. CTR, Vault, Rev, all of them were on the stage with Possum Bud, Gonzo. They were ripping packs, just shooting the shit, cussing it up, and it was a lot of fun. Now, the first thing when you walked in the card party, you had to pick your side, you had to pick your team. It was gold or silver. This was Gen 2, and I went with gold. I love this jersey. It is showing Team Gold on the backside. Team Gold ended up winning the entire weekend. There was series upon series upon series of events where everyone could compete and got points throughout the weekend. There was counters throughout the building. Team Gold ended up winning. I took home this jersey. There was actually a mistake with my ticket. I paid extra for a couple certain things. They cleared it up super quick. The help team where all the t-shirts were more than accommodating. They were like, look, forget everything that just happened. Take a jersey on us. They cleared it up. I loved it. And then also what I'm wearing around my neck, the dog tags. These things are actually super cool. I'll show those off here. I ended up with all three. They gave me all of them at the gumball machine. Suicune, Entei, and Raikou. The backsides all say Card Party 2 on them. I'm keeping these forever. And then the last piece is the VIP badge. It is fully holographic. This thing's just sick looking. So I'm going to keep this with all my passes, all my Collecticons. I have like a tree over in the corner with all hanging passes. And this is one of the coolest ones that I now have. And another thing that I think I just noticed was I was looking at somebody else's badge over the weekend, and I think their attack and power levels were higher. So I'm wondering if that is randomized on everyone's badges. If you had a VIP badge and you have attack and power down there, let me know in the comments if yours show different stats than what mine does. I think I just kind of had an epiphany of that, just looking at it for the first time and actually studying it, because I don't think I realized that when we were at Card Party. Next up, I got a couple of the Card Party exclusive cards that they were handing out throughout the event. The VIP Access Pass, I got that as soon as I walked in and got my badge. Card Party Pass, I think that came with it. I don't even know how I got this. It might have been given to me because I think this is the general admission Card Party Pass, but I was trying to collect all of them throughout the weekend. The world record for Gen 2, That is for the Vault-X binder, the 5,000 count binder. The minimum for the world record with Guinness was 1,500 cards to be exclusively put in by individuals. They beat that by a couple hundred. I think the total number was 1,700 and some change. So I ended up getting one of those right after the announcement was made. And then lastly, I did get a card of kindness. Now, I got this card. I don't think I did anything truly that kind. It was over by the gumball machines. There was some trash on the ground. I ended up picking it up and just correcting the situation that was there. One of the staff members saw me do that right next to me and was like, "Here, take a card of kindness." I was like, I really don't feel like I deserve this. I was just doing something I would have done anyways, but they handed me the card. I was cool with it. So I ended up walking away with 4 of the exclusive cards for the weekend. And another cool thing about these cards is they were all designed by some of the creators there. Full Metal Energy, Deep Pocket Monsters made the exclusive one for the VIP pass. Crystal, she made the card of kindness card. And then the last one, I think it was Control Alt Bob somewhere. Yeah, he made the World Record Gen 2 card. So those were all made by creators there at the event. Now, to stray away from Pokemon ever so slightly, I ended up picking up 2 Dragon Ball cards while I was there. These cards were made by Ozzy Oz the Virus. Super cool guy. I met him the night before. I had already seen his booth, but I hadn't met him in person. I met him at the trade night in person. I went back to his booth the next day. He ended up hooking me up with a couple cards here. I bought one. He gave me 2 for the price of 1. So shout out. You didn't really have to do that. I love Trunks. I love Gohan. These artworks are sick. They are actually like metal cards, and they're just kind of cool collector pieces. And these numbers at the bottom are actually where it gets really cool. So you got these little certificates of authenticity with the purchase of any card. And then on the bottom, it explains how the numbers work. There's an edition. These are all first edition cards because these are his first print run. The art creation date, the card release year. It's just how you decode this number at the bottom. The collection number, the collection itself, and then the quantity. So this card is limited to 300 copies. It's a first edition. No more will ever be made. It's a cool collector's piece. And then the same with the Trunks, 500 on him. So super dope cards. I am going to put them on my display behind me. And then we started talking about Dragon Ball, how his artwork was really sick. I showed him my full Dragon Ball sleeve that I have. One thing led to another. He ended up giving me a picture. So that was one of the coolest things I also brought home was this Gohan. And then on his chest, it's a custom artwork that he did. And he's got a tattoo of Piccolo on him. I think the reason he gave me with this, I mean, A, because we were kind of just shooting the shit for a little bit, but on my tattoo, my Gohan, I do have a little like silhouette of Piccolo on there because everybody knows Piccolo is Gohan's real daddy. The picture's super cool. Shout out again, Ozzy. Like, you didn't have to do all this. It was super cool that you did. I really wish you the best with these custom cards because I think personally they are sick. I don't typically stray far from the Pokemon TCG. I think one TCG is enough, but these are just really cool collector's pieces and I am going to cherish them forever. So let's get into some of the actual Pokemon cards I brought home. Majority of it is vintage. I do have a couple slabs and I have a couple unique pieces. I'm not going to go in any particular order here. I'm just going to kind of bounce around when it comes to the rarity, the language, the set itself. So this first stack, these are all reverse trainers. A lot of these you saw in the first video. I bought a bulk of them, but a lot of these actually weren't in the video either. So this whole stack was Aquapolis reverse trainers. I've said it before, I typically like when I do my master sets doing the trainers first because they're usually the easiest and cheaper typically than some of the Pokemon. So I can kind of fill in an entire section in the binder first. Kind of just helps and gives you a little bit more motivation once a section of your binder is fully complete. So I had a majority of the non-holos. Knocking out a lot of these Aquapolis reverses definitely help the current binder state. This Mirage Stadium, I did end up getting in the mail with my energy challenge. One of the followers of the channel mailed me this because he knew I needed it for my master set. I showed it off in the energy challenge video that was earlier this week, but I did want to show it off again because it was part of my weekly pickups. So shout out Joe, I appreciate you mailing me that. And then an Expedition Reverse Darkness Energy. Next up, Master Balls. I am down to 28 remaining Master Balls. I am getting so close. I ended up getting a Kadabra. That was in the first video. I believe it was $9 I paid for that. The Lickitung, another nice person, one of the vendors. I saw him ripping some 151. I asked him what Master Balls he pulled, and he had a little pile, and he said, just take whatever ones you want. I was like, look, I'll pay for them. But he had a big stack. I literally only needed one. I'm not going to steal from the guy. And he gave me the Lickitung. It was the only one I needed in the entire pile. I didn't catch his name. I said thank you multiple times, but I ended up getting this Lickitung Master Ball for free. The Ivysaur, I ended up getting in a trade with a kid. He was ripping a 151 booster box right next to me at one of the booths. I saw him pull it. I was like, look, you want to make a quick trade? Pulled out my binder, kind of overpaid him for the card. He was happy, and I was happy to fill another hole. And then the Mewtwo Master Ball, this one is absolutely sick. It is literally my favorite Master Ball from the entire series. I finally found one. The price of these Master Balls have been going down pretty substantially because of the reprints, and I ended up getting this one for 30 bucks. So I thought it was a good deal. It got me closer to completion, and I legitimately cannot wait until this set is done and behind me. It is awesome to look at, but it is stressful to keep top of as far as how many I need, and I'm trying to get it done while the prices are cheap because I know they're going to go back up one day. These next two cards came from my buddy Pete. He was there vending. He took in a lot of trades over the weekend, and anything that he thought I needed, he kind of put to the side and gave to me as a gift. So Wooper Aquapolis non-holo, as cheap and common as this card is, I need it for my master set, so I am always thankful when I get stuff like this. And then he gave me a reverse Mewtwo from Expedition. It is not the best shape. It was in a PSA 4 slab. The backside's worse off than the front. The front's actually kind of clean. There's a couple little bit of like ding spots there at the top, but perfect for my master set. He got this in one of the other trades, and he threw it over to me. He said, crack it, throw it in your binder, it's yours. Appreciate it. Shout out, Pete. I got a lot of gifts over the course of the weekend, which was awesome. And I really can't say how kind some of the people are in this community. I'm gonna throw in an obscure piece real quick. I picked up a Koro Koro Jumbo Japanese card. Now, I had not collected any of these yet. The reason I took it home is it is WotC era. It is not English exclusive, but I am doing all the English jumbos, all the box toppers. I thought it was cool. I got it for a really good deal. It was 20 bucks. It was like 40 sticker price. Told him I was doing a WotC master set. He's like, look, I'll give it to you for half if you want it. I said, sure. I took it, and I just thought this was a super cool, unique piece that you just don't see every day or come across often at shows. So when I come across things like that, because I do not buy online, I do not buy on eBay, I gotta take advantage of deals. Let's knock out a couple slabs. I ended up getting a Brilliant Stars, or Starbirth in Japanese, PSA 10 Charizard. I traded for this. I had a PSA 10 Arbok, I believe from Expedition on the Japanese side, and I gave him that and 20 bucks for this. I have been slowly collecting every Japanese alt-art from the Sword and Shield era in PSA 10s. I'm at like 10 or 15 of them, but I had a really good deal. I obtained the Arbok weeks back, so trading that and 20 bucks for this, I thought that was come up. This is a super sick card. The Mewtwo and Espeon card, PSA 1, also a super sick card. Adding that to the collection, it is Holly and I's favorite Pokemon in one. I got this when I picked up the Arcanine. And then this last one. This card, super weird, super obscure. Don't care about Chansey. Don't care about 151 reverses in English. This came from Matt Quinn. I ended up running into him on the escalator. He's the VP of CGC if you don't know him. We started chatting up for like 5-10 minutes over by the escalator. Parted ways. About 10 minutes later, I was back in the main room, and he ran up to me and was like, hey, look, I'll give you this slab for free. It was great talking to you. Kind of exchanged information. And the reason this card is cool is the backside. It is an exclusive card party slab card. Again, not something that's not my cup of. It's not my cup of tea, but it was a present. It is a super cool gift. I am putting it in my PC for sure, mainly because who it came from, the location of where it was slabbed, and it's just a cool, super cool piece because it is a pristine 10. Everybody knows I am kind of biased. I love PSA slabs. I do have some CGC slabs in my collection, mainly on errors, because they do error cards a lot better than the PSA side. But Again, super cool piece, super cool backstory, just an experience that I'm never going to forget. So I have no problem keeping this card forever. Matt, shout out for being kind. If you ever see this video, I appreciate it. And the Celtics won the championship. We rock. I know you're happy right now. Next two cards here, just two WotC promos. This was the last winner card I needed, technically the best of games. I had the stamped winner. I did not have the quote unquote loser card that is not stamped a winner. And it was the last regular size card I need for the best of games. The only two things I need now are the Dark Ivysaur and Dark Venusaur jumbo cards. I have the regular and these winners stamps of those, but those are the last two I need to technically have a full complete master set of every variant in the best of games. And then I picked up a Ho-Ho Pokemon Center New York Black Star promo. I have the regular one. The only one now I need is the Rapidash to complete the variants when it comes to those Black Star promos. Outside of Lucky Stadium and Pokemon Center, I still do not have those promos. They are expensive. I will get them one day, but today's not that day. This card right here, I ended up picking up for $5. It's a Meganium Reverse Holo. I actually did need it. I picked that up. You saw it in the video. One thing I caught when looking at the footage is it did have a small binder ding on it. I don't even see it now. I think it's right there. I didn't see that icon. I still ended up paying $5 for it, but it's actually in super clean shape. A little bit of whitening here and there, but I did need it for the master set. It's going in my binder, one card closer on the expedition side. This next card is what I brought home and picked up for Holly. I looked up and down for this card at Orlando Collecticon a few weeks back. I have been to Orlando twice in the last month, and I finally found one. I picked it up from, I think it was Cloud, one of the vendor booths. It is a Pokemon Center Evolutions card, black and white promo, super cool card. Kind of want it for my own personal collection one day, but finally found one, got it for a good deal. The prices on these are relatively cheap right now, and it is in awesome shape. There was a tiny bit of whitening on it. This one was cheaper than all the others he had. We worked out a better deal versus what he even had on the sticker price. So she's happy. She's thrilled to get this card, and I just think this is a super sick promo and another one you just don't really see every day going at these events, going to these card shows, collecticons, things along those lines. All right, down to the last two stacks. These two cards I picked up at trade night. I was waiting in line. It wasn't a very long line. There was a trade line to talk to Danny Phantom. I ended up talking to him after a couple minutes waiting, but I was chatting with the guys behind me and they were telling me what they were looking for. My buddy actually had one, so he came over, he sold them a card, and then I was like, I'm looking for e-readers. He ended up having an Arcanine Reverse Aquapolis card and then a Rapidash Holo from Expedition in his trade binder. We ended up making a trade. I think it was a PSA 10 Giovanni SR from 151. I traded him that for both of these cards. Super good deal in my favor. It was overall kind of a cool experience there too, because you got to meet people. Like, no matter where you were getting real close body to body with some people, and you could chat it up, figure out what they like. They figured out what you like, happen to have cards you can exchange, and ended up with more cards to take home for the master sets after just a few minutes of being friendly with people. All right, last stack is where it's going to start getting pretty good here. Now, I'll flip through these relatively quick. Cloyster Holo, Expedition, the Machamp Holo from Expedition, the Victory Bell, Aquapolis. Now, the Aquapolis cards are slowly becoming my favorite cards, my favorite set. I think I like it a lot better than Expedition, and I do like Aquapolis better than Skyridge as well. So picking up these Aquapolis Holos, especially for some of the deals that I've been getting them for, has just been a really cool experience. This Victory Bell, I paid $20 for it. Insane deal. I think LP was 30 to 40. Near mint was like 60 something. This card is legitimately near mint. I cannot really find a flaw on it. Has a massive swirl there. So I got that for $20. The next one, I picked up the Lantern. That was part of a big lot with a bunch of Aquapolis reverses. Slowking. Now, this card I ended up getting in really bad shape, but I kind of fixed it. So there was legitimate dirt, there was legitimate stains on it. The card itself wasn't in the best of shape, And then the holo was also super cloudy throughout the entire card. So I cleaned it to the best of my abilities. I might give it another run. I might not say the best of my abilities, but I cleaned it before I did this video because I didn't want to show it off in the old state. I think I paid, I want to say it was 25 or 30 bucks for it. So I got it for an amazing deal and I brought it back to life. The holo looks great. The swirl on it is absolutely massive and it is the perfect addition for my Aquapolis Master Set. So that's what I'm saying here. A lot of these cards I am getting for crazy deals. Like I'm doing Aquapolis on a budget, but the quality of the cards is not cutting any corners. I'm just finding the right deals and I'm holding out for the right cards at the right time. The last one here, it is the Arcanine. I love this card. This was the card that my buddy Pete challenged me to find. There was really only 2 or 3 in the entire building that I saw. This was the best, I wouldn't say the best condition one. There was another one that was $240 that was in better condition. That gentleman just was not willing to deal. And I ended up getting this one for 100 bucks. I think it was the most expensive card I bought all weekend, but for the shape it's in, for the lack of damage on it, I was completely cool with it. And this was probably the best pickup of the weekend for the master sets. I love it. I love the entire haul of cards here. So yeah, Card Party was an absolute blast. I won't hesitate going to another one. My overall takeaways, nothing negative or positive. I mean, there's plenty of positives. The couple negatives that I took away was I was kind of going into it thinking it wasn't going to be a Collecticon. I know it was stated beforehand that it didn't really want to feel the vibes of a Collecticon, but the overall building itself felt like a Collecticon. They had the main stage, they had constant events. Now, these were all scattered throughout the day. So if you weren't at one of the events at the time or you missed one because you're busy, you're off doing something else, really the only thing you could do was kind of look at cards, shop around. But the bright side was it was at a resort and there was a pool. I went swimming. I hung out by the resort bar most of the time, not most of the time, but for a good chunk of the time. Had some fun out there because I really wasn't trying to be Collecticon after Collecticon after Collecticon because those are stacked on top of each other. It's nice not, I'm friends with a lot of vendors, but it's nice not just dealing with the same vendors, having the same stories week after week after week. So that was really my biggest, I would say the biggest negative takeaway was it kind of felt like a Collecticon and I was really going into the event hoping it did not kind of feel like that. But don't get me wrong, don't quote me, don't spin it bad. I had a great time. It was a fantastic experience. Like I've stated, I won't hesitate to do it again, but I think maybe more outside activities to be planned throughout the entire event might be something to work on for future card parties, just to really separate it and kind of stand out more and more from what already exists in the card world. Like, comment, subscribe. I had a great weekend. I hope everyone that was there had a great weekend. I had an absolute blast meeting some of the biggest creators, chatting with them, picking their brains, and that was the main great takeaway from the weekend. We will see you all in the next one.
Don't stop.